question of people in the room. How many of you have had a school lunch? Well, actually, I should ask, who hasn't eaten a school lunch? Oh, good. Okay. So we'll all understand what I mean, that would be losing out, right? That's one of childhood's great memories, right? Soggy mystery meat nuggets and floppy pizza and green beans. These are good memories. But the good news is that's all changed because Michelle Obama and the Obama administration has made school lunches healthy now. Kids will be eating quinoa and kale and all sorts of organic chicken, and it's going to be great. No, that's a lie. It's not going to change at all. School lunches are going to, despite the money that's just been pumped into the school lunch program, it's going to stay exactly the same. And the reason it's going to stay exactly the same is because efforts to reform the school lunch program have gone on for decades. Michelle Obama likes to act like she was the first person to have this sort of light bulb moment. Oh, let's clean up the school lunch program. But in fact, idealistic congressmen have come into Congress and tried to reform this program over and over again. It continues to be mismanaged. It continues to be wasteful. There are fraud cases every year. Right now, there's a terrible fraud case in Chicago. There are fraud cases in New York. And the reason is because it's a food program run out of Washington. I mean, there are Washington bureaucrats who come up with lists of things that children can eat. So Michelle Obama helped push through this food reform bill. It's called the Healthy and Hunger-Free Children's Act. And I like to call it the Still Hungry and Healthy Free Kids Act because it won't change anything. But she did do two things. They did accomplish two things in this bill. They expanded it. They added $6 billion to this program. And they increased the roles of kids that are going to be getting these lunches. And the way they did that, there was a little-known provision put in the bill that created a mechanism by which there could be automatic enrollment of children into this program. It's a little bit creepy. It allows the schools to go into Medicaid records and other welfare records and determine what children are poor, and then automatically enrolls them in the school lunch program. And you know, it's sort of common to say school lunch, but it's not just school lunch. It's breakfast, lunch, dinner, after school snacks, and there's even a summer feeding program. That's right. When school is out for the summer, your kid can go down to the school and get a hot meal. And so you have a situation now where the government is providing every single meal for kids. Every single meal. And even in the summer. And now, poor parents don't even have to go to the school office to fill out the paperwork. I mean, that's disturbing, right? And the reason is because the reason the Obama White House sees this as a victory is because parents can't be trusted. Parents will make the wrong decision. They will put Fritos on a plate, or they will give their kid an ice cream, or they'll do something that the government doesn't approve of, right? Like the plate, or the different regulations that they have, the guidance that they have for how people should eat. And so it's a victory for the Obama administration to have more and more children eating these meals. But what's so sad about this, and I think this is really important to understand, this flies in the face of every bit of research that's been done on childhood obesity. Because ostensibly, they want to improve school lunches to reduce the obesity rates among children. But the latest research on childhood obesity, a huge study done at Ohio State University in 2010, and it said, are you from? Yes. My husband's entire family went there, so so this study, and this isn't the only study. There have been studies in Europe, there have been studies in New Zealand and Australia, and also more in the United States. A lot of sleep studies, children and sleep. But basically, what the big study at Ohio State University proved or found was that there's only three things that help relieve childhood obesity: putting your kid to sleep early, or on time, turning off the television, and sitting down to dinner at least 5 times a week, okay? Those are the only things that was found to actually help children reduce obesity. None of those things have to do with government programs, banning salt, taking vending machines out of schools, improving school lunches, banning sugar. I mean, none of these things have anything to do with government programs. It's all about strong parenting. And so when you have a federal government that is pursuing policies that strengthen the role of government in feeding children and further detach parents from that role, that's terrible. I mean, that's going to result in more obese children. So I think a lot of times when people talk about the school lunch program and the attempts at reforms, they often talk about, well, like I did earlier, it's not going to work. They're still going to be eating chicken nuggets. They're still going to be eating, you know, pizza and gray green beans. They're still going to be doing all that. But there's a bigger issue here, and that is if you increase the roles of children eating these school lunches, and like I said, breakfast, lunch, dinner, every single meal, we are taking away the only thing that's going to teach kids to eat right, and that's parents. Teach them portion control, the importance of exercise, that you can have a treat, but you have to eat your fruits and vegetables. That's the real tragedy of the expansion of the school lunch program. I'm done. You didn't even have to look.
Thanks, Julie. Now let's hear from Bailey.
I actually have a timer here.
Oh, wow. Look at you. I didn't need it.
So I'm going to riff on Julie and ask, since